Oh, look at that.
That was exciting for both of us.
Yeah,
I saw you light up then like a little boy.
Slide that under.
Hey guys, and welcome to episode 5 or part 5 of the Yokomo YZ-2 DTM 3.1 build. We've got Simon Healy back with us again today.
Yes.
And we're putting the final touches on this build, aren't we, Simon?
So we are. This is a bit like a mini series now.
It's getting there. It feels like a long-winded novel with you sometimes.
Well, lots of medications required sitting here with you, so it takes me all day to get up to this point.
For the people at home, it's like reading a spot book. Hey?
Just look at the pictures and turn to the next page.
That's right. Scrolling up and down until something good happens.
Yep. So what we're going to do, we finished the build.
Mm-hmm.
Brett put all electronics in.
I did.
And I've got to say, he's done a pretty good job.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
It looks very neat. Apart from the SEC cables he's put on the Speedy here, I think he thinks it's like a 12S or something like that.
It's mod, mate. You've got to have a big, thick cable for mod, huh?
Right. But apart from that, he's done an exceptional job on the fit out, nice and neat, all in the right spot.
And we've got Futaba's newest receiver in there,
that's
DR404.
That's
SBS.
why it looks good, because that's small.
Yeah, it's nice and small, so it's give a little bit of room to tuck the cables and put I've hidden the little wires with the transponder on top.
Yep.
It's got the MKS 575 servo in there, which is probably, it's too good for me. But yeah, it's definitely...
Look, the 575 is a really good servo. We use the 599, which is a little bit slower and got a lot more torque.
Yeah, it's the same servo internally, just different gear set. So it's the same top quality construction.
So it's a different ratio, which slows it down and increases the torque rating. So,
that probably really is more ideally suited to a touring car or something, but
yeah. But anyway,
it's going to be faster than me. That's
enough
for
of
sure.
that. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up the Speedy.
What Speedy have we got in there?
You have an OE1 Orca.
You've got an Orca OE1 in there
with a 7.5 turn, I believe.
7.5 turn in there.
Mod
Treen motor, Orca, yep.
Yep, which is the latest of the Orca equipment.
Yep, and a new Infinite X 4290 ultra low center of gravity pack, because I need it.
Yeah, and they're 7.4 volt, I believe.
7.4, yep.
Cool.
So I haven't had the chance to run it yet. I've run its bigger brother, the 5400. In 2-wheel stock and 4-wheel stock, but I've never run a little one.
Yep.
And I figure it's sort of going to act as a safety net to hopefully take the edge off before I just smoke the motor.
No chance. So what we'll do is...
What are we doing?
Well, we're gonna turn it on.
Yep.
We're gonna set the Speedy.
Yep.
And just go over the functions. We'll do a brief on that.
Yep.
Okay. And then we're going to run the diff in.
Yep.
And then we're going to chuck the wheels on and we'll set the cambers and stuff like that up.
Yep.
Okay?
We probably want to set the endpoints on the radio too, don't we? Or no?
No.
Just do it at home. All right.
The endpoints should be already pretty much right. Apart from your steering. You might want to reduce the amount of steering on your endpoint in your because you'll see it flexes too hard on the servo horn.
Yeah.
But that's all relevant to each car, each length radio, servo horn, etc., and the stuff. So we'll do the Speedy first.
Yep.
If we'll just turn it on. The Orca has a dual function. You can either have a switch, external switch, connected into the port.
Yep.
Or you can have the breaker, the circuit. It's like a little circuit switch connector you plug in, which eliminates the switch altogether.
Yep.
Which is preferable. Because one less thing
to go wrong. One less thing to mount. One less thing to rattle loose.
And one less pair of wires wiggling around inside there, etc., etc. So we got it on.
We have got it on, and I've got the hardwired fan.
That's just like nearly ready to take off like a hovercraft.
That's a 40mm fan we've got there.
Yep.
On the Orca fan mount.
Can you zoom in on the program box, Brett?
I can certainly do that, mate. Just bear with us a second while I get this ring here. Oh! How do you like that one? Look at that.
That's good.
What are we looking at there?
So you've turned it. We plugged it in. Basically, turned it on.
Yep.
So the first thing you click on is the ESC motor wire link.
Yep.
Which you can either go ABC, which determines the wires from the Speedy to the motor configuration.
Yep.
Or CBA.
Yep.
CBA is what we've currently got at the moment.
Yes.
So you just hit enter, okay, which is already set, and blinky mode. What's going on here, mate?
It's brand new, mate. That's why it came out of the box.
Yeah, right, sure. You're already trying to help yourself out.
I need all the help I can get with this, you know that.
So Orca Speedies have 4 modes.
4.
You've got modified.
Forward, backwards, neutral, reverse.
No, you've got 4 modes.
Ah.
See, it says modified mode.
Oh,
I'm
hello.
talking modes.
Okay.
Not parameters, modes.
All right.
So you've got 4 modes. You've got modified. You've got open stock.
Ooh.
Off-road mode.
Off-road. That sounds like me.
And then back to the blinky mode.
Blinky mode.
So we're going to...
Can I choose off-road?
We're going to go off-road.
Ooh. Throttle feel.
Throttle feel is basically... It's kind of like a torque converter in an automatic.
Yep.
Okay? It can either be smooth and soft.
Yep.
Or you put a high stall or something like that in. You want to fix the focus on that, mate. It's looking a bit fuzzy, actually.
Fuzzy wuzzy.
Fuzzy wuzzy was a bear. So the throttle feel...
Don't touch it, Simon.
Throttle feel is how edgy or how initially you want it to come on straight away, or kind of feel like a little bit of a delay type scenario.
I want it to be just linear. I don't know how to put it.
Okay, so the feel... You don't muck around with that too much.
No.
Because it will actually give you a false kind of... bit like a...
exponential on the throttle.
Something like that.
Yep.
This is the one that you got to worry about. Now, currently at 11, your car's not going to see the first corner. So we're going to turn it down.
To about 7?
Nope.
Really?
Yep, number 2.
And that's on a high traction?
Yep, because that 7.5 turn will hammer.
Yep.
So you just push the bottom one, enter twice,
send it.
Succeed, back to the top one, next one, party mode.
Yeah, party mode. Sounds like what we're doing here.
Well, depends if you're wearing the red or the blue ones.
Yeah.
So, we're not touching that.
No.
No, just leave it. Okay, PWM. This is a really, really interesting adjustment.
Pulse width modulation.
That's right. A lot of people talk about this like it's some black art.
Yep.
Like it's mysterious. It's got... I've done a bit of research on it, and I've learned a lot. I'm not going to say that I have all the knowledge about it.
Well, why not? You do about everything else.
No, definitely not. But basically, if you've got a motor tester, you know, the little Sky RC or whatever motor, you put your motor on there, whiz it up, and flat out, and you see whatever revs or whatever, and you look at the KV rating. The KV is the important part.
Yes.
So hypothetically, if it's like 4,000 kV or 4,300 kV, you times that by 8.4, which is your voltage. Times that by 2, which is your motor poles.
Yep.
And then you divide it by 20.
Why do you divide it by 20?
That I can't tell you, but that's what you do.
Yep. And
that gives you your ultimate PWM for that motor.
Okay.
So it might come up at, say, 4,260.
Yep.
This jumps in 500, so you go to 4.5. You don't go below, you go above. So you go to 4,500. So that's, but you're still a tuning tool. But the higher you go, you shift the power from torque to revs. The lower you come down, you give it more kind of torque or smoothness or grunt out of the corner.
Yep.
The lower you have this number, the cooler the ESC runs. The higher you have the number, the more heat the ESC generates.
Yep.
Okay. So,
as a rule, I've always had mine maxed out. But
really? What?
As a rule.
At what?
On road.
30.
Sorry, 32.
32.
Yep.
That's 32,000.
Yep.
You're an animal.
Generally.
You're an animal.
Well, because the speedy temp's never really been an issue.
Touring car 4.5k I run.
Yeah?
Yeah. 4,500.
So, well, wherever you reckon anyway, mate.
We're going to put you on 6.
6,000?
Yeah. But I reckon you might say it's got a little bit too much kind of torque. It feels a little bit grunty.
Yeah, and then we'll turn it up.
Yeah. Timing, we're leaving that off.
No boost?
No boost.
No boost.
Turbo timing?
Yeah. 20 degrees?
No.
What?
No. Drag brake. Two-wheel drive.
Yeah, 7%.
Drag brake and two-wheel drive is really important.
Yeah.
Okay? Because it can actually control the pace of the car slowing into the corner before you actually jam on the brakes.
Yep.
So, being...
And it can also make it jump nice as well.
Yeah, just notice this. You turn that, feel how soft that rotor is in these new motors. Alright? If that was like 3 generations old, it would be really chunky.
Yep.
So you'd have hardly any drag brake.
Yeah.
So being a soft one, I run 16.
Wow. That's a lot of drag brake.
You won't notice it with this rotor.
Yep.
Okay. It'll just take the edge off, and it'll just slow the type brake. You got one you'll run, that's the linear one, and then the other one is it can be like exponential. You don't want that.
No.
Okay, so now we're back to the start. So what you do is you hold the top button,
Yeah, that.
go to advanced setup.
Oh, here we go. Now we're getting serious.
Alright, so this is punch fine tune now. So you know how we're on number 2?
Yep. Again, this would be like putting a curve on it.
So this is 2.1 plus 2.2, 2.3, right up to 5. So and then you can go minors. So you got 5 points either side of 2.
Yep.
So it's like you're going 1.5 or 2.5. Okay?
So are we just leaving it normal, or are you going to put something in there?
We're going 2.3 for you.
Ooh.
Just to see how you go.
I think you're just setting me up for failure.
Reverse force.
Well, we're not reversing, are we? That doesn't
Compress. Compress, I don't really look at that. I don't touch it. I don't know enough about it. It's an item that I don't really use. Basically,
I believe it's like an exponential.
Yeah.
I believe.
Yeah. I haven't done enough research on that. I've never used it, never worried about it. So I can't give any informal information.
Timing start, no. But it doesn't matter because we're not putting any.
That's exactly right. Timing range,
Doesn't
45%.
Turbo, we got none.
No, that's right. Turbo punch. Brake frequency.
How high do you have that?
Run 2k.
Alright. And again,
Initial
that
brake.
just gives it like feel, yeah?
Yeah. If you have it too low, it'll just come on abrupt.
Yeah.
Have it too high, it won't come on enough. Okay. Initial brake is 35%, so that's as soon as you touch the brake, you get 35% of brake instantly.
Force. Yep.
Okay. And brake range is 50% of your brake at 35.
Yep.
So, and then your maximum brake is 80% of your range.
Well, that should be plenty in this.
That's the rest you will tune yourself at the track on your transmitter.
On the transmitter to endpoint.
So we're back to the start again. So we'll just hold that.
Now they are actually pretty straightforward, aren't these?
There's another little thing. I'll just quickly turn it off, and I'm going to turn it
back on.
I'll wait for this.
Data record.
So your battery's at 8.29 volts.
Yep.
Okay. You're at 61,257. What did you have this plugged into?
I squirted it. I made sure that the motor went.
Wow. So that's your data.
Yeah. So it's spun up.
So your speed controller will keep your data to the highest registered point.
Yeah.
So you can.
So you can come in after a race and you can see the maximum temperature that you reached on your motor, on your ESC, and the maximum RPM.
So you just hold the enter button down
and clear it.
I think that's what you do. I can't remember actually.
Data record.
That's your update. Yep.
Yeah, now do it. What have we got there?
No, it's not doing it for me. Anyway.
So you clear your data logger and then you go again.
You go again and see what you've done. So that's
now,
it.
in on-road, I do use that like just about every race. Especially if I'm new to a motor or a track or something that's in a car configuration. Because I will want to make sure that I'm not burning up.
Right.
But I don't expect this to work anywhere near as hard as an on-road car. But we'll see.
Yep. Can you grab your transmitter? So we're going to run the diff in.
Nice, new, shiny
So
Futaba 10PX.
being a brand new car, right?
There we go. Because we can actually see the transmitter now.
Being a brand new car,
Yes.
I was about to say, you leave your slipper very loose.
Leave the nut hanging off.
Yep, you don't need to tighten it up. You're not ready for that. So
I'm not ready for that.
no, we've got to get the diff right first.
Yep.
Can you turn that on, please? I tell you, this thing's got like a Boeing 747.
That's not bad, is it? Should be pretty familiar to you.
Yeah. But what I will say is, if you're running an Orca and you want to know how to set the endpoints,
Oh, we should do that first.
turn transmitter on.
Yep.
Okay. Just check everything's at 0.
Yep.
Full brake.
Were you listening for beeps?
2 beeps.
Yep.
Full throttle. Beep beep. Neutral. Beep. Done.
Turn it off, turn it on. How good does that gearbox sound, mate?
Tell you what, it sounds pretty good.
Don't know who built that gearbox, but it sounds like all the bearings are in there.
1.5mm driver.
Yep.
Down into the outdrive slot on the left hand side.
Yep. What have we got there, mate? Turn those fans off, it's drafty.
I know. Alright, turn your throttle EPA up. Just turn your throttle, on your you will watch it. You know which one? Yep, keep going. Keep going. Couple more. That's it.
Yeah?
Right. So we got this jamming the outdrive on this side.
Yep.
And we've just turned it up. What are you at? 50%?
No, I'm only about 10 clicks. 58?
58, yeah, about 50 to 60%. Yep. So we're just going to run this for a little bit.
Yep. While we have a chat.
Yeah.
So what we're doing now is running in the ball diff.
So when you build your diff, you leave it loose.
Yep.
You do not tighten it down.
Yep.
Because what happens is the tungsten balls will dent the diff rings.
Yes.
They're so hard, the tungsten balls. If you screw it down too tight originally, you will get the balls will just put little indentations in the rings.
Yep.
And then when you turn it, you'll feel like click, 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 click. And when you're at that, there's no return. It's stuck.
Done.
Yeah. So this will just cut. The balls will now cut a ring in the, like a ring all the way around in the diff rings.
Yep.
Like a little groove. And
give them somewhere to run.
And because the balls are round, they'll cut a groove all the way around that's round, and the balls will sit in that. That's what you're doing. You're cutting a groove all the way around.
Yep.
For the balls to sit into that. And then they'll have the clamp pressure in when it's just set, right? The clamp pressure will be...
And more surface area as well.
They won't be skidding on the surface.
Yep.
You notice that the revs have picked up.
Mm-hmm.
So turn it off, like turn it back down to 0.
All the way?
Yeah, like as if you're turning it off. Yep. Just pull it out. That diff is way looser, right, than what it was.
Oh, that's a loose diff.
Yeah.
What's going on now?
We're going to turn that off so you can hear what's going on.
Yep. Don't lose me washer, mate.
Oh, there you go. There's the washer.
Carpet food.
So we're gonna pop that off.
Yep.
Flathead. Actually, I'm going to put a wheel on because it's easier to hang on to the actual the other side.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
To adjust it up, you mean?
Well, no. So when I turn that, I can hang on to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's all very complicated now. Nice wheel, that one.
Yeah. So that was about a quarter of a turn. Still very, very loose. You don't jump big adjustments at once.
No.
Okay. I'm cheating here because I've done it so many times. Yeah, that's about as far as you'd want to go. Otherwise, you possibly dent those rings.
Well, the last thing I want is a dented ring.
That's right. You'll be all sorts of pain.
Oh. Poor little diff not going to knock. Can we do it again?
So, let me just turn this on. Let me just find the... Rightio.
Now again.
Crank it up. Right, leave it. Yep.
We'll run it again.
We'll run it again.
So how many steps do you want to do this?
3.
3 steps.
3. If you run it in too long, then you've really got to strip it and redo it, or clean it and re-grease it, because what happens is you get all the lube and stuff out.
Yep.
Okay? And if you cut the rings too deep, then there's no adjustment left in the diff.
Yep.
There's a point where you don't want to go past either.
I imagine that it's still going to, after the first couple of batches, it's still going to run in a bit, yeah?
You're going to go out the track and you will want to probably do your first run at between 3 and 4 minutes.
Yep.
And then you come in and you will want to reset the diff.
I'll probably need to repair something.
That's probably the first
Probably a
minute.
front arm.
Nah, you'll be right. They're pretty soft settings in the Speedy.
Yep.
So it'll be just like you put a bit of boost into your stock car. You know, if you've got a stock car with a really strong, decent motor, it's like you chuck a bit of boost or something into it.
That's it.
Yeah.
So how many diffs have you run in today?
1 RC diff.
Yeah.
So few Evos.
Yeah, a couple of Evos today. Cool.
Few Evos today.
That's a good thing to do.
And an 86 Toyota. You know, those new Toyota 86.
Already?
Yeah, done one of them today as well.
Nice. That's looking good.
Looking pretty good.
Are we ready to go again?
No, we'll just give it a little bit longer.
Yeah. I'm just scared it's going to wear out.
Well, that's supposed to wear out.
Alright. You notice how good the gear mesh is on the pinion?
It's pretty quiet.
Yeah. Well, it's a brand new pinion on there as well, so that helps.
Yeah.
New spur, new pinion, new motor.
we run with this. You're running 78 spur, 23 pinion.
Yep.
So.
And the transmission ratio on this is 2.6 to 1?
Correct.
Is that right?
Yep.
So I can see actually here.
Yep.
I've got 8.87 to 1.
That's it.
Yeah?
Yep.
And you reckon for 7.5 turn that should be somewhere in the ballpark?
Oh, around that. Look, you know, some other people run 22, some run 24. You know, I think it's we all get used to our own setups.
Yep.
And how we like our car to be. All right, shut it down.
Shut it down.
Yep. You turn that now. Actually. No, turn it on the wheel. Turn on the wheel. Tell me what you...
Oh, that's sensual.
How smooth is that?
Oh.
So we've got one more. We'll give it one more.
One more twizz up.
Yep.
You're going to wear out that ball stud. That's what you're going to do.
True. But it's not mine, so it doesn't matter.
That's alright. At least you're not just popping it off, popping it on.
Oh, no, only a rough.
Pop off.
Only someone rough would do that.
Would they?
Yeah.
Just rip it off, rip it on.
Yeah.
Another quarter, thereabouts.
Yeah, that's...
Well, she's going to be firm. She's going to be firm.
You want a firm diff in mod.
Well, the last thing you want is a slipping diff. Because it just destroys
If it barks,
everything.
it's all over.
That's right.
Yep.
If the diff slips in mod, that's it. You've got to up for new diff rings, balls, gear even.
You know what the most damage is? The first part is if the balls get hot, the little holes in the plastic gear, they actually melt to a point and it elongates the hole, and then it's the ball actually moving backwards and forth, not rotating. It's actually going, and that's what the skiddy noise is. It's like when it goes. So this is still way too
fresh. I want to rebuild it.
Do you?
Huh? How many race days do you think you should go with a rebuild, or you do it every race day?
Depends on how many times you drive it.
Okay. So, how many times should I drive it before I rebuild the diff?
when it needs to.
Right. And how will I know when it needs to?
Because it'll be going, help.
Okay.
No, look, it'll just be barking, or it'll get notchy, or won't.
That'll sort of sound glassy, yeah?
You will get a, like when you come to a jump and you apply the throttle, you get that initial little bit of a bark. That's telling you it's too loose. Okay. And then when you tighten it up, if it goes from kind of a smooth feeling to a bit more chunky and rough, that's when you know it's getting to the point it needs to be cleaned, stripped, cleaned and checked. And
can you often reuse it, or do you usually
for sure.
all new balls and
No. Sometimes it can be the thrust. It's really important the thrust gets grit and crap in it, and that can actually create a really gritty feeling in the diff and the rest of it. So you clean it all out and re-grease it and put it all back together, and you know it's perfectly fine. You know, you only really worry about it for, like putting brand new diffs in for major events, and then you run your diff. You can run your diff down to like 60% of its performance at club days and stuff. It'll still work fine.
Yeah.
It's just how much money you want to throw at it. That's basically it. All right, come.
Right.
Last one. Hear the load on it now?
Yeah. Alright. It's not going to overheat the motor, is it?
It could cook it, yeah. Now this last one, because it's tighter, we actually won't let it run as long. Okay? So you'll hear it pick up a little bit.
Yep.
On its own.
Now, do you always run fans on your cars?
Yep.
Yep. In a 5-minute race, is the motor going to get hot?
In summer it will.
Yeah.
Alright.
Go up?
Yep. No. Off, I mean, sorry.
Off. How is that?
In summer.
Oh, we're going back again.
I've just got to reset the last.
Yep.
In summer, yes.
Yep.
Because it will get hot.
The main reason I fit it out with fans is because I'm probably not just going to do 5-minute runs.
Well, now, if you go to practice and you're doing like 10-15 minutes of laps,
I'll try not to. I will use a timer on the new transmitter, but yeah. Because it is really at its detriment. The batteries now are not. I say what they.
The batteries allow you to go far too long.
That's right. We never used to have those capabilities on years gone by, because your car would go flat at 6 minutes. If you have a 5-minute race, the car would be flat by 6 or 7 minutes. Now
you can do 30 some cases.
Yeah, so you really are doing it at the detriment of your electronics and the rotor in the motor, aren't you?
Yeah, correct.
Even though the stator can take 100 degrees, the poor little rotor is struggling and starting to lose its magnetism, losing its efficiency, and ultimately its power.
And this is particularly for stock guys. You go, oh geez, it's not going very well.
Yeah. Or it goes good the first 2 minutes and then dies off. It's because you've cooked the rotor one too many times.
So we're going to just chuck the wheels on quickly, even though the camber and all that stuff's not right.
How good is it? It's never had wheels on before.
Hasn't it?
Never.
Wow. Well, it is now.
These are Hot Race Saharas, clay compound.
Are they clays?
These are clay.
I might take them when you're at the track so I can use them.
Yeah, you should. These have got open so insert so.
Oh, you can have them.
Why? Don't be like that. I thought that would be a good compromise.
For what?
Going fast and going slow. No, it's all just going to be going slow.
No, it'll.
Oh, look, you're struggling.
No.
New hexes.
Yeah, just.
I did notice that this has got 5mm hexes front and rear. The track on this.
The cal's different.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, the carpet car's different.
Yeah. Here we go. Look at that. We are, look.
It's a bit saggy in the bum, mate.
It's a bit saggy, a bit like me. Is it? So how much ride height do you think we want to now? I've got my little ride height tool here. You can have a look in the overhead.
See how, look at that. The diff's not even working.
Should it be or not?
Oh. But if you turn it fast, that's nice.
Nice.
Well, we're going to set the cambers first.
Well, don't you do the ride height first?
No.
All right.
So what we'll do is we'll leave the slipper will be the last. We'll set the slipper last, okay? We'll quickly just do the cambers.
Not like the slipper that your granddad wears.
No.
No.
So being keel or being high grip and oil, we're going to go 2 degrees. Okay? 2.
How much is on there now?
Would be nice if we had a better turnbuckle wrench, but unfortunately beggars can't be choosers, can they?
Well, I don't actually have my full arsenal of tools here, mate.
Nah, well,
I didn't really...
So the one I use is the brownie coloured Arrow Max.
Yeah. What size is it?
It's 4 mil, I believe.
4 mil.
Yeah. They work really, really good. And they're about, I don't know, what would you say, 70, 80 mil long?
Yeah, they sort of look like a baseball bat, don't they? But they're a bit longer, get you up out of the wheel.
Yeah, and you know what? They last forever. They don't even wear.
Until somebody knocks them off.
Something like that, yeah. Tell you what, that's about 2.2 degrees.
Is it?
Yeah, it's too much.
And that is my favourite little camber tool, that one. Show the people in the overhead exactly what you're working with there, mate.
That's what I'm working with. That's what you've given me to work with.
It's like little chopsticks.
Yeah.
That is the kit wrench.
That's right.
That's a freebie.
Yeah, I know, but they do wear out exceptionally fast.
I've seen, probably the way you wrench on cars. Look at this cam. This is my favourite.
That, and I'll just quickly.
This is my favourite little camber gauge here. What I use. It's really good. It has no moving parts. It's just like a little set square. It's got 1, 2, and 3 degrees on it.
Does it come back like a boomerang? And
I use it all the time on 1/10 off-road and 1/8 off-road.
That does both, doesn't it?
Yeah. And I've got a smaller one for 1/10 on-road that I use.
Cool. Well,
because really camber and ride heights are probably the two most critical adjustments on your car to both straight line traction and also traction through the corners.
Correct.
Or traction rolling or just feel.
Well, it's a tuning. It's basically an essential tuning part of your car being, you got your roll center, you got your shocks, and you got your ride height and your camber. They all just fit together. It's a bit like a jigsaw. You get all them right, car will be fast. Car will be really fast.
You still got to drive it, mate.
I know that, but still.
Are they the same front wheel nuts, front and rear? They are too.
Yep.
I'm not like the four-wheel drive with the little skinny ones.
Yeah, no, only four-wheel drive.
I like them. No, you can't put them on this.
You can, but
I like them. They're sensual.
Really?
Yeah. Don't tell me they're not.
You get like warm and fuzzy over them.
Oh, completely. Do you know which way you're going? Now we put all the turnbuckles facing one way.
Yep. So you get used to. When you adjust it, you get used to, you go straight to it and you know which way you're turning.
That's right.
Because if you're turning one way on one side and on the other, it gets you kind of lose track of what you're doing. Particularly if you've got the car facing this way and then all of a sudden you're working on the car facing that way.
Does it confuse you?
Confuses me, but that wouldn't be hard. Jeez, I tell you.
I'm lost. What about the toe?
Well, we're
going to get the toe in?
We're just going to get it close for now, okay? Because when you do the toe,
I think we should use the setup and the.
When you do the toe for the first time, a setup station makes it really easy.
Let's do it. No,
we're going to do.
All right.
How long are we going to be here for?
What do you mean? 15 minutes? It's nearly time to go.
That was an hour ago.
No. You do that. I'll do this.
But I need you on the throttle.
All right, I'll get on the throttle. Get on the gas.
I need you on the throttle.
That's what they call me. Get on the gas.
The gas monkey.
It's not the worst thing I've been called. Are you going to do the ride height? I'm getting ride height anxious. I'm getting major anxiety about ride height. Do you do the same front and rear, a little bit higher in the rear, a little bit higher in the front, or how do you like it?
Once again, it depends on how you like to drive your car. If you have it a little bit lower in the front than the rear, you get it to turn in nicer. Okay, if you don't like the way it turns in, you can actually have it a little bit higher in the front, which will slow down the turn in to a point. Okay. What do you got your ride height gauge set at?
23.
Ooh.
I reckon.
23 is a good starting point.
Is it?
Yep. And
it used to be my race number.
that's not even close.
We've got the. Do you want to wind down a bit, and I'll get the verniers because we've never done our initial set.
What do you mean? You just verniers. What are you going to do when you don't have verniers, mate?
Well, it's an initial build, man. We've got to show people how to do it right. That's why they're watching this. They're not watching it just so Dad and Dave can do it.
Perfect.
Yeah. Are you going to set the left and right?
They're right.
All right.
You measure them.
No.
You reckon my eyes are stuffed? You measure them. Come on, get your verniers. Get them out of here.
Get them out of here.
You measure them.
What do you reckon they are?
It'll be about 4.5 to 5, I reckon.
Yeah.
What is it?
Yeah, 4.2.
Yeah. What's the other one? About 4.6?
No, it's about 4.4.
Wasn't far off, was it?
Wasn't far. You seriously are very close there.
So, look at that.
That was exciting for both of us. I saw you light up then like a little boy.
Just slide that under and watch.
Oh, just a little tap. Hello.
It's got like
Can you hear it?
It's got like an air gap of nothing.
It's like a feeler gauge.
You could probably get about 1,000 in there.
It's like when you're doing valve clearances on a car. No, it's just nice, sensual. Where do you do it on the front? Oh,
I think the front's a little stiff.
To be honest, stiff?
Yeah. It's absolutely perfect, but I think the dampening's a little stiff because the car's quite light.
It's going to have to bed in a bit too.
Yeah.
It's got no body on it. It's got no wing.
That's correct. So that's pretty good. So really, what's left to do is the setup station with the toe.
Yep.
Okay. Obviously, we need to chuck a wing on it and chuck your body on it, and let's smoke this diff up.
You sure?
Yeah, you got your transmitter on?
Transmitter is on.
Give it a little bit of a rev. Where's the brakes, mate?
You didn't set it, did you?
Just go bang on the throttle.
More?
No.
You're just going to smoke my slipper.
See here? Well, you hear the slipper?
Yeah.
Go. Alright, obviously too loose.
You want 5.5 mil or what?
It's 7.
Is it?
Yeah, I've already got it.
Is it really?
Yeah. It's
there you go. I didn't realise it was a 7 mil.
Quarter turn. Give it a quick squirt. Get rid of your hand.
Well, I'm scared now. You're going to drive it off the...
I've got it. Go. No, don't. Okay. When you're doing it by yourself, put that there and go. Like that.
Yep.
Okay. Because we've got such a low, like a really soft setup in the Speedy.
Yep.
The motor's not ripping hard.
Yep.
Okay. We want it so it's just trying to pop the front tyres.
Bit more, you reckon?
Yeah, a bit more.
Oh, you're an animal.
Yeah.
This guy. Oh, I can feel that. I can hear the diff starting to let go there. You're an animal.
So the diff's not squawking yet.
Don't let it squawk.
See that? It's just about popping them up. It's a good starting point. Right there.
Right there.
Yep. Now we'll turn this off so you can't drive off the bench again.
I know. That was hectic. Let me have a feel here. I'm a bit old-fashioned. Oh yeah.
Now you'll run that, and then you have to adjust it because
that is tight.
It will. That's not tight.
That is tight, mate. That's obviously for a high grip track.
Yeah, but the thing is, you got a 7.5 turn in it. That won't be tight.
It's gonna give.
It's not a 13.5 or a 17.5 like you're used to pansing around with.
Yeah, well, there's 2 speeds.
Yeah. You put your controller where it's not going to fall off the bench and get broken. Because that's a high chance.
Now, what do you want to talk about? Is that the end of the build? Is that where we're taking it?
Pretty much. Well, you've got some... Well, what do you want to do?
No, I think that's it, mate. I think we've touched on... We've finished the build. So, I wired it up. We've gone through calibrating the Speedy.
Yep.
Setting the endpoints on the transmitter is something that you really want to do on a setup station. Yeah.
With
or
a brand
just
new
lock to
car,
lock.
with a brand new car, and if you've got a setup station,
Yep.
and you've got time, by all means use it.
Yep.
Set it up, learn, check your with your toe out. You don't want any more than one.
No.
You want 0 to 1.
0 to 1. Yeah.
0 to 1 is all you're gonna be looking for.
And the main reason that you have that is because you've got toe in on the rear. You want to make sure that
I was just about to
you've
actually.
got toe out on the front to make sure that the car does actually go
Yeah.
straight down the straight. Because otherwise, if you've got toe in, it'll tend to wander and be floaty and horrible. So, problem is when you go more than 1 degree toe out, you can get the car very nervous. You know.
Well, it does. It can make it aggressive mid. Like you're turning in so much, then all of a sudden become aggressive. It changes the acumen a little bit, not a lot, but just a little bit.
So
yeah.
And we've got 2 degrees all-round camber, and
Yes.
that's on high
grip.
High
like
grip.
if I was going to a low grip track where it's a little bit loose,
So we're going to Knox. We're going to Wodonga.
yeah, I would. Well, it depends.
Yeah.
If it's a smooth track with no harsh rocks or shaly edges or anything like that, you can stand the tyres up more because the outside of the tyre is what's gripping. When the car leans, it's the outside of the tyre that's biting into the track. If the track's blown out and it's got holes and stuff in it, that could possibly go into the hole, grip, then throw you over.
Of course.
But that's also driver awareness as well. You can't just think you can change the camber and then you can go flat out and not crash. It's just
Really?
yeah.
That's my MO.
Okay, well,
No?
we'll see what happens for you. We'll wait and see what the end result is.
We've got, lots of front arms, mate.
Yep. Cool.
No.
You'll need them.
No, it's just about, like you said, and front camber is really just about feel again and not getting it all cut up on the ruts.
Yep.
Yeah. What else have we got? We've got ride height. We've talked about. We've put 23 mil all round.
23.
It's very neutral.
Your ride height. The old school way is to keep your dog bones straight.
Yes.
Okay, that's the old school ride height setup.
Yep.
So,
and why was that?
Because when you're full RPM, the inertia of everything spinning will
try and level out.
Will try and essentially level those dog bones out. So if your diff, because you can adjust the diff height in these things, it can be low or high. It can actually help to either pull the back of the car up.
Yep.
Or pull the car down. So if your setup has dog bones where they're on an angle upwards,
yep,
and you've got heaps of grunt and lots of inertia, it could actually suck the car down to a lower ride height on the track, and vice versa. If the dog bones are pointing down too much, it could suck the car up,
lift the car up.
Yeah. So with the diff height, and that also is relevant to the hubs height, the inserts in the hubs, changing the actual height on the hubs, the roll center height and stuff like that. All that tunability is it's there to help you set your car up for when you're running the diff high, you have a low ride height.
Yep.
Okay. When you're running the diff low, you have a low ride height because it's bringing the drive shaft back closer to that straighter angle.
Yep.
Either way. So.
And I'm looking forward. This is an absolutely kit setup. So we've put no option. The only option parts we've put on here is the alloy servo horn that we put on,
and the bell cranks,
and the bell cranks,
and the brace underneath where the
That's not done yet.
Oh, I know. No, we didn't have it, did we?
Plastic one, no.
Yeah. Look, when I first drove this, I run the plastic one for 6 months.
Yep.
Okay. And I didn't replace it until I had a big bingle and I pulled the threads out of the plastic.
Yep. So I'm really looking forward to see exactly, I want to drive the car how Yokomo designed it before we go altering the setup vastly from the kit as far as springs and pistons and oils. And that said, I've got a lot to learn myself as well. It's been a long time since I've driven two-wheel modified.
The car is really nice. Anything with kit set up, it will be a little bit soft and spongy at Keilor.
Yep.
You definitely,
because it is such a high traction.
Most definitely, you'll go up a little bit on the oils, and most definitely, you will change the springs.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
And we've got one here. This is the old rig.
That's the
3. That's the Cal 3. That's
the old workhorse.
That's the old workhorse that the new car is actually replacing.
So what you can see, and this is a durability. It's got the front aluminium camber link mount, not the plastic.
Yep.
Okay, and it's got the aluminium components in underneath the front, which we don't. It's also got that mount. They're not there to make it faster. They're just there for
Reliability
durability.
wise,
Just
yeah.
durability, because in mod, when you crash big.
Yep. And I can see here that the shocks have stood up a little bit.
Yeah.
It's got the different. It's got different springs on it.
Yeah.
It's got the thicker shock shafts.
Well, that's been the previous model. It's got the
Yep.
3.3mm shock shafts, which those shocks aren't used anymore. The 3mm shocks work way better.
Yeah.
Because they actually do hold a little bit more oil, being a smaller shaft diameter.
This one's got the four-wheel drive arms on the rear, a little
Correct.
bit wider track.
Different dog bones and different arms. A bit more stable in the back of the car. Being the wider arm, the longer arm, you
Yep.
can actually run the hinge pins in, which actually gets a little bit more grip in the back of the car.
Yep.
Helps to create it without reducing the width of the car.
Yep.
And increasing instability in the back of the car by doing that.
Yep.
So
really looking forward to getting it on track. Yeah. So
all
forward.
you've got to do is put your wing on the front
Yep.
and your wing on the rear.
Yep.
You haven't done your Velcro.
No, I've got to put Velcro on it.
Yep.
And the body.
Another little. We're going to show the little trick that you come up with the lipo.
Oh, okay. Yep.
So because he runs an LCG, which
Yes.
is not 25mm wide,
Yes.
in the Orca motor box comes this nice square piece of foam.
Yeah. Which
Um,
sits in there.
Square piece of foam. I'll get some light onto it. That covers the top of the motor. It fits perfect in there,
Yep.
and it's the actual right thickness to help with taking up some gap on the lipo.
Yeah. Take some gap and it will keep it all just nice.
The other
and
thing
stuff.
too, it stops the battery rubbing on the aluminium.
Yep.
It covers the sensor lead, which protects the sensor lead,
And the fan wire
Yep.
right up there.
and best of all, it's free when you get your motor.
That's right. So an added feature of the Orca motor that I
Yep.
put into it.
So-
So really looking forward to the new 10PX on there. We've got the new Orca gear. Yeah. Let's call this one done, mate.
Okay.
Let's call it done.
Yep.
And I welcome you coming back and working on another project with me.
What are we going to do?
Well, here's part of it. Here, mate. So we'll start there and we'll work our way forward.
Is this a steering dampener?
It's going to be steering off an 80 series Land Cruiser.
Oh my god. That's got some dampening.
Yep. Yep.
Is this E or N?
E.
Oh, well, E, yes.
This is a 3.5 kilo buggy that we're going to build next.
Yeah, E interests me, but the nitro doesn't.
Yep. Because you're gonna get out on track and have a crack with this one.
Am I?
Yep. I reckon you will. I reckon that could be a new thing, a new venture.
Wow.
So join us on that build. I won't going to reveal exactly what it is yet, but that is a damper off of it. And yeah.
I want to have a go at the GTE.
Yeah, we'll have to get that one back. That one's visiting interstate at the moment.
Oh.
We'll get that. I've had that out at Baronia.
That would be fun.
It was actually really, really cool.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm Brett and this is Simon Healy and we are from Hearns Hobbies and thank you for watching our Yokomo YZ-2 DTM 3.1 build.
Thanks, guys. Been awesome.
Thanks, guys. See you soon.
Bye.